The year is 2014, a year filled with hope and new beginnings for many. Derek and Maria Broadus, a young couple with 3 children, are on the cusp of achieving the American dream. They have worked tirelessly, saving every penny, and now their efforts are about to pay off. They have just purchased 657 Boulevard, a beautiful 6-bedroom Dutch colonial in Westfield, New Jersey, a town known for its safety and charm. The house stands majestically, a testament to their hard work and perseverance. The house, with its sprawling lawn and spacious rooms, is perfect for their growing family. Each room holds the promise of new memories, new beginnings, and a future filled with joy. Excited to start this new chapter, they begin renovations, eager to personalize their dream home. They paint the walls with colors that reflect their personalities, choose furniture that speaks to their tastes, and make plans for a garden where their children can play. A little do they know their dream is about to turn into a nightmare. The dark clouds of uncertainty begin to gather, casting a shadow over their newfound happiness. The Broadus family, brimming with hope and anticipation, begin to settle into their new home. They unpack boxes, arrange furniture, and start to make 657 Boulevard their own. They envision birthday parties on the lawn, holidays by the fireplace, and a lifetime of memories within the walls of 657 Boulevard. The children laugh and play, their joy echoing through the halls of the house. Derek, a senior vice president at an insurance company, and Maria, a stay-at-home mum, are excited to provide their children with a safe and nurturing environment. Derek works long hours to ensure financial stability, while Maria dedicates her time to creating a loving home. The future seems bright, full of promise and happiness. They take walks in the park, enjoy sunny days in their neighborhood, and dream of the wonderful life ahead. But a storm is brewing, hidden in the shadows of their perfect home, waiting for the right moment to unleash its terror. Unbeknownst to them, their dream home harbors secrets that will soon come to light, threatening to shatter their idyllic life. It all begins with a letter, a seemingly innocuous piece of mail that will change everything. The words within are chilling, hinting at a sinister presence watching their every move. As the days go by, the letters continue to arrive, each one more disturbing than the last. The Broadus family starts to feel the weight of fear pressing down on them, their dream home turning into a prison of anxiety. They reach out to the authorities, hoping for answers, but the mystery only deepens. The police investigate, but the source of the letters remains elusive, adding to the family's growing sense of dread. In an attempt to protect themselves, they install security cameras and take extra precautions, but the feeling of being watched never leaves. The once warm and welcoming home now feels cold and hostile. The Broadus family, once filled with hope and excitement, now faces a difficult decision. Do they stay and fight for their dream home, or do they leave and seek safety elsewhere? The choice is heart-wrenching, but their safety and peace of mind must come first. As they pack their belongings and prepare to leave, the house stands empty, a silent witness to their shattered dreams. The for sale sign outside is a stark reminder of the nightmare they endured. As they drive away, they look back at 657 Boulevard one last time, a mix of sadness and relief washing over them. Their dream home on Boulevard, once a symbol of hope, now a haunting memory. The sun sets over the neighborhood, and the lights in the house turn off one by one. The story of the Broadus family and 657 Boulevard serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes dreams can turn into nightmares. Just days after moving in, a letter arrives, addressed to the new owner. The Broadus family, excited about their new beginning, never expected their first piece of mail to be anything but welcoming. Little did they know this letter would mark the beginning of a nightmare.
What is this? A letter? Let's see. Derek Broadus, the father, opens the envelope with a mix of curiosity and anticipation. As he unfolds the paper, his eyes scan the words, and his expression shifts from puzzled to deeply concerned. The Watcher? What on earth? The letter's tone is menacing, and the name The Watcher sends chills down Derek's spine. He reads on, hoping for some sort of explanation, but the words only grow more disturbing.
Derek opens it, his heart sinking as he reads the chilling words. The letter is not just a welcome note, it's a sinister message from someone who seems to know too much about them. The writer, calling himself The Watcher, claims that 657 Boulevard has been watched for decades by his family. The house, with its old-world charm and history, has apparently been the subject of an unsettling obsession. He details personal information about the Broaddeuces, like the make of their car and the fact that they have 3 children. The specificity of the details is unnerving, suggesting that the Watcher has been observing them closely. The letter is filled with disturbing references to the house's young blood, and asks if the new owners have brought the young blood with them. The term young blood is repeated, making it clear that the Watcher is particularly interested in the children. The letter is more than just strange, it's unsettling. The words seem to crawl off the page, embedding themselves into Derek's mind, creating a sense of dread that he can't shake off. The Watcher claims that 657 Boulevard has been the object of his family's obsession for generations, and now, with the Broaddus's arrival, it's his turn to watch. The idea that this obsession spans generations adds a layer of horror, making it feel like a curse passed down through time. The letter ends with a chilling question: have they found what is in the walls of the house? This cryptic question leaves Derek and his wife Maria in a state of panic. What could possibly be hidden within the walls of their new home? Will you end the bloodline? The final line of the letter is a direct threat, suggesting that the Broaddus's very presence in the house is a danger to their family. Fear creeps into the Broaddus's hearts. The once joyful move into their dream home has turned into a living nightmare. They can't help but feel watched, every creak and shadow in the house now a potential threat. The idyllic life they envisioned shatters, replaced by a chilling unease that permeates their new home. The Broaddus's are left questioning their decision to move, wondering if they can ever feel safe in 657 Boulevard. The house, which once symbolized a fresh start, now feels like a trap, with the Watcher lurking in the shadows, waiting for their next move. Derek and Maria sit down to discuss the letter, their minds racing with questions. Who is the Watcher? Why are they so obsessed with this house? And most importantly, what should they do next? The sense of dread is palpable as they realize that their dream home has become a source of fear and uncertainty. They begin to notice every little detail around them, every passerby, every car that slows down near their house. Paranoia sets in, and they can't help but feel that they are constantly being watched. The sense of security they once felt is now replaced by a constant state of vigilance. Derek decides to keep the letter in a drawer, locking it away, hoping that out of sight means out of mind. But the words of the Watcher continue to haunt them. A dark cloud hanging over their new life. Despite the fear, the Broaddeuces try to maintain a sense of normalcy for their children. They go about their daily routines, but the letter is never far from their thoughts. The once warm and inviting home now feels cold and unwelcoming. As night falls, the house takes on an even more sinister tone. Every flicker of light, every creak of the floorboards seems amplified. The Broaddus's lie awake, wondering if the Watcher is out there lurking in the darkness, waiting to strike. Time seems to move slowly, each minute dragging on, as the family waits for some sort of resolution. The letter has cast a long shadow over their lives, and they can't help but wonder if they will ever feel safe again. The Broaddus's story is just beginning, and the letter from the Watcher is only the first chapter in what promises to be a long and terrifying ordeal. As they try to piece together the mystery, they are left with more questions than answers, and the sense of dread only grows stronger with each passing day. The initial shock of the first letter gives way to growing fear as more letters arrive. The Broadus family, who had just moved into their dream home at 657 Boulevard, never imagined that their excitement would turn into a living nightmare. The first letter was unsettling, but they tried to brush it off as a prank. However, as the days turned into weeks, the letters kept coming, each one more disturbing than the last. Each one is filled with increasingly disturbing content. The Watcher's words were not just random threats, they were deeply personal, targeting the family's vulnerabilities. The letters described intimate details about their lives, things that only someone watching them closely would know. The Watcher seems to know the family's every move, mentioning things like the children's names and their activities. The letters would reference the children by name, describing their playtime in the yard, their walk to school, and even their favorite toys. The Broaduses felt an invisible presence lurking around every corner, watching their every move. He writes about renovations, commenting on the changes made to the house. The Watcher seemed to have an opinion on everything, from the color of the new paint to the placement of the furniture. It was as if he was inside the house, observing the renovations as they happened. The letters become more frequent, arriving every few weeks, each one a hammer blow to the family's sense of security. The Broaduses tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy, but the constant barrage of letters made it impossible. Each new letter was a reminder that they were not safe, that their home was no longer a sanctuary.
Derek, I can't take this anymore. He knows everything about us, even the kids' names. The stress was taking a toll on the family. Maria, Derek's wife, was particularly affected. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and was constantly on edge. The fear of the unknown was driving her to the brink of a breakdown. What are we going to do? The couple spent countless nights discussing their options. Should they go to the police? Should they hire a private investigator? Should they move out? Every option seemed fraught with uncertainty and danger.
The once comforting walls of 657 Boulevard begin to feel like a prison. The house that was supposed to be their dream home had become a place of dread. The beautiful architecture and spacious rooms now felt like a cage, trapping them in a nightmare they couldn't escape. The Broaduses, once excited to explore their new home, are now too terrified to even let their children play in the backyard. The children, who had been so excited about their new home, were now confined to the indoors. The backyard, once a place of joy and laughter, was now off limits. The Watcher's words echo in their minds, turning every creak and shadow into a potential threat. Every noise, every shadow, every unfamiliar face became a source of terror. The Watcher's letters had planted a seed of fear that grew with each passing day. The happy anticipation of their new life is replaced by a constant state of fear and paranoia. The joy and excitement that had filled their hearts when they first moved in were now replaced by anxiety and dread. The family was living in a state of constant fear, always looking over their shoulders, always wondering when the next letter would arrive. The dream home is transformed into a nightmare, and they are desperate to escape. The Broaduses knew they couldn't live like this forever. The decision to sell the house was heartbreaking, but they had no other choice. Their dream had turned into a nightmare, and they were willing to do anything to wake up from it.